Howdy, howdy. Week 10 NFL Power Rankings. This week was pretty crazy. A lot of teams won, a lot of teams lost, and the top 10 was really hard to make, so I had to go further in depth, and I can talk more about that once we get there. But 32 is the Titans. The Titans are bad. They're abysmal. They lost to the Chargers, which isn't a horrendous loss, but they're bad, and so they stay at 32. 31, the Saints moved down after getting destroyed by the Rams, and the Raiders move up to 30 because they lost to the Jaguars, but it wasn't overtime. So it could have been worse, and it was worse for the Saints. So I think the Raiders move up to 30. 29 is still the Jets, even though the Jets I think are worse than the Raiders. I'm just going to leave the Jets up there because they did have a bye. 28 is the Dolphins. The Dolphins lost the Ravens by a lot. The Ravens aren't as good as they should be, but it's still not a good loss for the Dolphins. 27 is going to be the Browns. The Browns are not as abysmal as I thought they were, but they are still really bad. So they stay at 27. 26 is going to be the Giants. The Giants lost Scadaboo, and that's really heartbreaking. However, they lost to the 49ers, but only by 10. And so they kind of hung in there. Jackson Dart did really good. He did really well. I mean, it's incredible how good he is. So they stay at 26. 25 is going to be the Commanders. Losing Jaden Daniels that's not good. That's trouble. Um, so I mean, they also got blew out by the Seahawks. So moving on. 24 is going to be the Bengals. They couldn't quite hold on. They couldn't quite come back to beat the Bears. The Bengals, I feel like, are a good 24 team. They're bad, but they could get some good wins, I'd say. 23 is going to be the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals, and I want to talk about the Cardinals because they're right at 22, right above them. The Cardinals, as I was going further in depth, looking at point differentials for the top 10 and strength of schedule and stuff like that, the Cardinals' point differential before the Cowboys game was -1. They were 2-5, and they only had a -1 point differential. That's insane. And so I kind of looked into it. The Cardinals are a lot better than their record shows. They're not good. They're not bad, though. They're not really bad. So I think 22 is the spot they're going to be at for now, and they could get higher, believe me. 21 is going to be, I thought it was 20. 21 is going to be the Falcons. They put up a fight against the Patriots, and I like that, but I'm not hopeful in the Falcons. I need to see a little bit more from them to actually move them back up. 20 is going to be the Texans. Texans are playing some decent ball. They're better than I thought they were looking into points and uh, points scored, points against, uh, strength of wins and losses. And I mean, the Texans are a bit better than I thought. The Broncos aren't a great 7-2 team. They're not that good. But 20 will be the Texans. 19 is going to be the Jaguars. I could put the Texans over the Jaguars. It really is a preference kind of thing. I think I'm going to leave the Jaguars up there. They did win, so I liked rewarding wins. 18 is going to be the Bears. They held on to it. It was getting a little dicey, but they held on. Um, I think this Bears team, if they put it together, can be a playoff team, but they need to do better than what they're doing right now. 17 is going to be the Panthers. I'm a big believer in the Panthers. I like that. I just like the Panthers. I just think they're better than what they let on. I mean, their record definitely shows that they're a good team. They're not as good as their record, I will say that. But they did beat the Packers, and the Packers are good. So we're going to have the Panthers at 17. 16 is going to be the Vikings. Beating the Lions is huge, and I mean, just a great game. JJ McCarthy, good stuff. Good stuff. And yeah, 16. And now 15 is going to be the Ravens. They're the top team that I think isn't in the top 10 for sure, right? And so the next team that I'm going to show you and the rest of them, I feel like could all have a good case to be in the top 10. However, there are 14 teams, so not all of them can be in the top 10. So I had to dig into points and stuff and different kinds of things. So 14 is going to be the 49ers. Just on wins and losses, The 49ers, I mean, they lose to good teams. They've beaten the Seahawks, they've beaten the Chargers, but they've lost to the Broncos. They've lost to they beat the Rams though. I don't know what to think. They've also lost to the Texans. I It's just so hard. I have the 49ers at 14. 13 is gonna be the Chiefs. Again, the Chiefs are they just lose a lot. So since they're 5-4, I can't reward them with a top 10 anything. So I mean, they lose the Bills, whatever. I mean, they're only beating the Commanders, Raiders. They beat the Lions. That's really cool. However, they lost to the Chargers, Eagles. So I'm at 13. 12 is gonna be the Chargers. The Chargers are getting better. They beat the Titans, and some of their victories are somewhat impressive, but honestly, it's more like their losses are against teams they should lose to, so I guess that's a good thing, I guess. 11 is the Packers. Uh, they've they've beaten the Lions. That's really it. I mean, they've lost now to the Browns and the Panthers, tying the Cowboys. They've beaten the ugh, it's so the Packers are such a tough team. They haven't really beaten anybody good other than the Steelers. That's it. So, I mean, the Packers are just, it's not a rough case. Now, top 10, who actually makes the top 10? The Broncos, just barely. Now, I know the Broncos are 7-2, but the Broncos have beaten the Eagles. These are good wins. They've beaten the Eagles and the 49ers. That's it. They've lost to the Chargers and the Colts, those are good teams. But, I mean, they just not looked that impressive against good teams, great teams. They could have lost the Eagles. They I mean, just a 10. I'm not very high on the Broncos. Number 9, I have the Bills. The Bills beat the Chiefs, which is a good win. But they've lost the Patriots, which I mean that's not a bad loss, but they've lost the Falcons too, and they should have lost the Ravens, but I mean Josh Allen's him. So at 9. 8 is gonna be the Lions. Lions lost the Vikings. I don't remember while I was researching if they had any good wins. I can't really remember. I mean, the Ravens one looked impressive at the time. They did lose to the Chiefs. The Buccaneers. They beat the Buccaneers, so that's big. 7, I have the Steelers. The Steelers just beat the Colts. I mean, they're good. They look really good, and that's just how it's gonna be. Number 6 is gonna be the Patriots. I wish I could put the Patriots higher, but I think with their wins and losses and their point differential being worse than some other teams, they're gonna have to go at 6. Number 5 is gonna be the Colts. Uh, just looking into it, they haven't beaten anyone that good. They destroy bad teams. They they haven't beaten anyone like super good. They've now lost to the Steelers and the Rams, which aren't bad losses, but I mean they just play bad teams and they beat bad teams. 4 is gonna be the Buccaneers. They've look they're just good. I honestly have nothing much to say. I think they've had a really good. I don't know about the Buccaneers, honestly. Yeah, I don't know about the Buccaneers. They've beaten the Seahawks and the Texans and all these teams, but lost some. They've lost some games. But 4, I'm gonna land on 4. That could be changed. 3, I'm a biased Eagles fan, so Eagles are gonna be at 3. They've beaten the Buccaneers. They've beaten the Rams. They shouldn't have, but they beat the Rams. They lost to the Broncos. They lost to a Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterby Giants, and they came back against a recently strong Vikings team. And I just think they're better than most teams, so I'm gonna put them at 3, even though most people wouldn't agree. Number 2 is gonna be the Seahawks. The Seahawks have looked amazing. I wish I could put them at 1, but compared to who is at number 1, they haven't looked quite as impressive, especially against good teams. I mean, the Seahawks have beaten the Steelers. They've lost to the Buccaneers, which isn't a horrible loss. They've lost to the 49ers, which isn't a horrible loss. They lost to the Packers, which isn't a horrible loss, but they beat the Chiefs. Uh, I'm tripping. They did not. Packers and Chiefs were preseason. How am I messing that up? Anyways, Seahawks are at 2, and at number 1, I have the Rams. They've looked like the best team, and they've lost to Honestly, they should only have one loss. They should have beaten the Eagles. And so I think the Rams are the best team in the league. And thank you for watching. Let me know if you think I was wrong in some cases. Um, just let me know, right? Thank you for watching.